the end of last year, I used to spend the majority of my days online for my corporate job, annoyed and irritated. Mainly because I thought that it was hindering the life that I wanted to create. But then I realized it was actually my attitude around work that was more likely hindering the life that I wanted to create. And because of that, I needed to change it. So of course that meant I had to switch things up and find a way to enjoy a job that I had fallen out of love with. Now, let me be clear, if you work in a toxic environment or an abusive environment, this video is not for you. I do not want you to brainwash yourself and figure out how to stay at a job that is genuinely destroying you. But if you are at a job and you feel like for some reason it's actually hindering you from creating a life that might be bigger or just more aligned with what you want, that is not toxic, but it feels like it might be holding you back, this video is for you to sort of just put things more in perspective, that maybe it's not holding you back and maybe it could actually be helpful on the path of creating the life that you want that probably doesn't involve a corporate 9-to-5 job. So let's just get into it. Numero uno. What does your job provide for you, and what are some positive things that you get from your job? And of course, I think the first thing that comes to people's mind is money. Like a lot of us stay at our jobs that might feel soul-sucking or just feel misaligned because it pays for the life that we need and want to live. But I would encourage you to go a little bit past money. Do you get to show up and use your mind in ways that you wouldn't normally without this job? Do you get to interact with really cool and kind and smart people? Do you get to go into a cool office? You can even do small things. Do you get discount on Enterprise or any other kind of rental company because of your job? Find all the things, big and small, that you get from your job, not just the paycheck, go past the paycheck, that actually lends to your life, that makes your life feel a little bit better. Do you get to pay for, if you have kids, your kids' ballet classes or football classes? Do you get to go on trips because of your job? And yes, there are other ways to make these things happen. You know, maybe in your ideal life, you have your own business that allows for you to do the things that your job currently provides for you. But right now, it's your job that's doing it. Lean into that. Look at the things. I would actually encourage you to write it down. That's what I had to do. Write down the things that you get from your job, and even go as far to write down the things that you feel really grateful for from your job. I feel grateful that I get to work with really kind people who genuinely care about my growth in this career, even though I don't want to be in this career much longer. I'm grateful that I get to go to my job and use my brain and literally learn every single day. I would encourage you to write down all the things, big and small, that you get from your job outside of money, and then see how that makes you feel. I genuinely do think it'll make you feel better about the fact that you show up for work every day, because then you don't feel like you're beholden to your job just for money. You see all the other things that your job provides for you. It doesn't mean that you have to stay at this job to get those things, but it's cool to see in the moment the things that you can get from your job that makes you feel good, that can make you feel good, that benefits your life in non-monetary ways. So that is tip number one. Find something that you love outside of your job. Find a hobby that brings you joy, something that you can look forward to either on your weekends, even though I don't like the idea of living for your weekends. At my job's main location, there are a bunch of groups to go running, to play softball, there's book clubs. Find things either at work or outside of work that you can look forward to. I would try both, honestly. It gives your life more balance instead of it just being about this job that maybe you're not 100% into. So I would look into hobbies that really bring you joy, not just hobbies to do to say that you do, but hobbies that really bring you joy. I would look into them, lean into that to sort of balance out. Maybe if you are still feeling, you know, not the greatest at being at your 9-to-5, you're ready to get out of there. If you're feeling that way, then give yourself something to balance that out with. I highly recommend having something both at your job and outside of your job. Personally, I have a bunch of things outside of my job, and that's good enough for me. And I think the reframing I've done around, you know, all the positive things that my job has brought into my life has really helped me as well. So having loads of hobbies outside of work, and then also with the reframing that I've sort of mentioned earlier, has really helped me feel better about logging in to work this corporate job that I eventually want to leave. This one is the toughest one for me, and I'm still working through it. I get better and better at it the more that I do it, and that is to pause every time something annoys you at work. I think when you are just ready to leave your job, every little thing annoys you. At least that's how it was for me. And that just really, it couldn't continue. It could not continue for my sanity. For example, I work in London, but I work for a New York-based team and company. So I work a little bit later into the day. And my day usually ends at 8 p.m., which is 3 p.m. Eastern time, right? So when it's around 8 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. my time and people ping me a question on Slack, I used to get annoyed. I used to just get so frustrated, which makes no sense because it is within my work hours. I just had to realize that, hey, girl, you are getting paid to be online right now. This person pinging you is asking or commenting on something valid. It's during work hours. Recently, I've been taking a breath whenever I get annoyed that I get pinged on Slack. Sometimes it's even reached a point in the day where it's not, 7:30, 8 p.m., but I mentally have clocked out on certain tasks. I have the mental capacity to do only 2 or 3 certain tasks as opposed to other tasks that I could be doing during the day. Because of that, I get annoyed when people ping me about the task that my brain has turned off for the day, which is not fair. That's not how work really works. Yes, as humans, we have nuance and, we're not always going to be on 100% all the time. But I did realize that I have to be reasonable and acknowledge that I'm on a team that has, fluctuations and requirements and requests throughout the entire day. So whenever I get a ping now on Slack that normally would annoy me, I take a deep breath and I just say, hey, is this a valid response to the job that you have signed up to do? And if it's not, I just sort of let that pass and just remind myself that, hey, it's okay that this request is being asked of you at this time or just in general. And that has really changed the game for me. All the things that used to annoy me about this job, I've had to sort of just take a moment and pause every time I get annoyed and just sort of see like, is this annoyance fair? If someone, and this would never happen at my job and I'm really grateful for that, but say if someone is pinging me after work hours and requesting me to do anything, say if someone's pinging me at 11 p.m., which is 6 p.m. New York time, and requesting me to do a task. I have the right to be annoyed and I will be annoyed. That's not gonna happen with the kind of job that I have. But if someone's pinging me during work hours, I really do have to check myself, and I really do check myself and just say, hey, just take a moment, let's take a breath right now and just realize that this is a valid request. That has led to me being less annoyed with my job, and then the frustration and the irritation I used to around my job is now less because of that. Typically when people are frustrated or irritated with their job, I think they're dealing with similar things as me, and they find things that, irritate them, anger them, annoy them. I would just say in those moments during your everyday job, take a moment to breathe and just see if this is a valid response. Sometimes it is, but if it's not, just take a moment to breathe and just be like, hey, it's valid that this is being requested of me. This is just a valid part of my job that I have to deal with in the meantime. And then keep it pushing. And then keep it pushing until you are ready and able to leave. And now my final tip is this, and that is to come up with a plan to leave. Come up with a structured plan to leave and or write your resignation letter. Having a plan and writing your resignation letter just gives you something to look forward to. So highly recommend giving that a try. Maybe you could look at it every day. Maybe it'll give you hope and keep you motivated, or maybe it's just something to make you feel good. But having a plan on how you will get out of this job that you no longer want to be at, I think you can simultaneously be grateful to be somewhere while also wanting to leave it. Having a plan on how to actually leave will give you something to, once again, look forward to. And then also you have a plan. It's sort of like, this is not something that is indefinite. The irritation or the frustration that you might feel is not something you have to indefinitely deal with. You can have a plan on how to get out. You can set a time, and it doesn't have to be rigid, but you can set a time that it gives you something to look forward to, that makes you feel more optimistic about showing up because you know that there is an end date. Highly recommend reframing and brainwashing yourself around your job if you feel like quitting, because it will make it easier and it will make the experience just feel lighter as you figure out how to get to the life or the next job or the career path that you want. Maybe it's not even that the fact that you want to have your own business, be an entrepreneur, be your own employer. Maybe you just want to switch careers. Maybe you just want to work at a different company, whatever it may be. While you figure out how to get to that next step, it is super helpful to sort of enjoy or try your best to enjoy the time you have remaining at the job that you currently have. So I hope these tips help you do that. And if you have any additional tips, please feel free to share them down below. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.